Victor Valente, and I'm the chairman of people who use AAC Committee for the International Society for Augmentative and Alternative Communication. This committee encourages people who use AAC to be leaders for young adults and children who use AAC. I've been to a lot of different ASIC conferences around the world, 10 different ASIC conferences in total. One of my favorite ASIC conferences was in Natal, Brazil. However, I disliked my flights to the host cities of these conferences because since 9/11, the security had been increased, which make it more difficult to travel. I asked myself, do I look like a terrorist? The first airport I had flown to was Miami because they had to check my shoes for bombs. The second worst airport I had flown to was London because I thought that I was going to be late for my next flight and the porter didn't want to push my wheelchair to the next gate. Plus, this porter told my mother to push me to the next gate. But when I arrived at every conference, I had a very great time because these conferences have 3 different parties to attend. Plus, I had a chance to meet different people who lived around the world. 3 years ago, when I was in Pittsburgh for my 9th ASIC conference, I met 4 speech-language pathologists who challenged me to read Harry Potter books. I wasn't sure I was up to this challenge to read these 7 books about magic and children, but I figured I would read these books. I went to my local library to get my new library card and ordered these 7 books. Right now, I've read about 30 books. I figured that I wouldn't get anything from this challenge, but now I have read much more than I used to. At my first ASIC conference, I saw the best communication device available at that time. However, I hesitated to get this communication device because it was an unknown fingerprint. Plus, I was going to Mohawk College, and I had to worry about the course that I was taking. My speech-language pathologist and I had a discussion about getting this communication device, and we decided that I should get it. Of course, I remember when I got this communication device that it was on my 23rd birthday. Later on that day, I had to go into Mohawk College, and when my teacher came into the classroom, I said, "Hello, Mr. Russell," with my new voice. Back in 2000, when I was at one of my ASIC conferences, which was in Washington, D.C., I met a family who had a cute little girl. Her parents were having some trouble to program her communication device. At her school, she wanted to say some Jewish prayers, and one of my good friends asked me to help her parents with programming her communication device. This is one of the very great examples of how I started to be a leader in ASIC. It felt great to help this little girl and her family. If you will be traveling out of province to attend the ASIC conference, which will be in Toronto, you should purchase some health traveling insurance. This insurance will cover your medical expenses if you would become sick. If you would like to go sightseeing in Toronto, you should book more time and see places around this beautiful city. When the ASIC's Executive Committee held its annual meetings in July of this year, some members went to Toronto Island, and this island is disability friendly. You should have your dancing shoes on because ASIC will have 2 different parties at the hotel in Ski Whistle Brewery, which is intended to walk from the hotel. You can learn something from a session and bring this back to your city. At this conference, I'm hoping to give a presentation on leadership in ASIC. I know the co-chairs that are running this conference. One of them is my speech language pathologist. I'm confident that they will organize an excellent conference. You can support any of your friends who may be presenting at the conference because they might get very worried in front of a large crowd. You can share your different ideas with the presenters when you attend a presentation. At this conference, you can meet a lot of people who live around the world. You can fly across our wonderful country to get to Toronto. Flying on an airplane would give you a very great rush. My father always ordered a window seat for me, so I could look out. I always was very amazed how the clouds were flying past the airplanes. You can share your different and unique ideas with the other participants at this conference. If you would like to give a presentation at this conference, you should start writing your proposal right now, because the deadline will be coming up very soon. You will have a great feeling of accomplishment if you give a presentation at this conference. You can get other ideas from the audience to help you with your topic. You can visit all the vendor booths and in the opportunity to see and try out the newest technology in the field of AAC. I would like to recommend that you should attend the ASIC conference next year in Toronto. You will be having a lot of fun, meeting great new people, and learning a great deal at this conference if you attend. Thank you for listening to me.